the staff for next year really hurts what's happening with equity work in the district. I really urge the board to look at the PPS racial equity lens when thinking through cutting this program. And Alan can tell you he doesn't like the choice to cut. It really negatively impacts our Vietnamese community. It also doesn't align with the stated PPS budget principles, especially the one that's taking a long-term perspective. This program is only 2 years old. We're not going to grow a program if we cut it in 2 years. We're going to scare families away. And it really causes all the stakeholders to question whether the district is really serious about building this program. It also does not support best educational practices. I'm speaking not just as a parent, but as an educator with an ESL endorsement and as a reading specialist for early literacy. There's mountains of research that shows that class size matters, especially for achievement for students learning English and historically underserved populations such as the Vietnamese language community in Portland. We have a goal in PPS to get all our third graders reading, to all our students reading by third grade. I'm not sure how we are forwarding that goal when we have 28 and 29 kids in our first and second grade classroom next year. And all of them are learning a second language at the same time. It doesn't meet that goal. It makes the goal of having all students reading to learn by third grade much more difficult to attain. And our kids deserve better. Our teachers also deserve support to achieve these goals. The teachers in classrooms where there's a large percentage of English language learners need to be given more support, not less. But these cuts will make the first grade classroom in the DLI program at Roseway Heights next year a third larger than the neighborhood program at Roseway Heights next year. And that's just not right. As I understand, the solution is to hire one teacher to serve the English side of the first and second grade and one teacher to serve the Vietnamese side of the first and second grade. So that would be one teacher serving 57 students with 2 curriculums to manage. And that's going to cause quality of the program to suffer. And that's going to cause achievement to go down. Our teachers deserve more support to reach the excellence that we're expecting of them. The cuts have been really stressful for staff, and it's led one of our teachers, you heard her earlier tonight, to consider leaving the program. Ms. Kim Forasai has been a committed, compassionate champion for our kids. She just led a fundraiser at the school last Friday night, staying late until 8 o'clock at night to raise money for the program that she might not be a part of next year. She's highly skilled, culturally competent, and experienced teacher. Losing her is a huge tragedy for this new program. She wants to stay. If the cuts don't happen, she will stay. Like many in the district, we're in limbo, waiting to find out where we're going to land with district-wide boundary review. We are an orphan program. We don't have a permanent home. We're temporary in Roseway Heights. Please do not take away the continuity of strong, experienced, committed teachers during this time of great uncertainty. So please reconsider the cuts, reinstate 2 FTE at first grade, 2 FTE at second grade, at every level of the program, and be a champion for the support program for our Vietnamese community. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Paul Nguyen, and I am also a parent. And the thing I've been hearing about mostly is like from the board is that it's always about the numbers. And although it's, like even the funding is about the numbers, but if any of you even know a little bit of Vietnamese, you can tell that not only did Allie read Vietnamese, but she spoke it perfectly. And that's hard to do. Okay, that's what we are looking forward to every day. The workload that these kids from kindergarten to first grade get every week is astonishing. My daughter's a kindergarten student. This is her first year. She loves school. And I remember the first week when she got her homework folder, and I looked at it, and I was like, she has homework? Why would she have this much homework? And how can she do all of it? Well, how? She loves it. She wants to do homework. She also wants to play. So there's quite a balance that as a parent, we have to maintain for these kids. A lot of research talked about how playing is more important than actually doing homework. And you guys have been up to date about those research recently. They've all been coming out about play being more important, which is true. But as a parent, you want to promote the kids to learn. And so we've always, myself and my wife, always promoted her to learn whenever she feels the need to. And this program with Ms. Kim and Ko Kao, Tina Dang, they promote learning in these kids. And these kids, when they come home, they want to do homework. They enjoy it. And so you can see the result of that, this desire to learn. And I can't imagine if you cut one of the teachers, how that would impact their assignment to these kids. They can't give out that much homework and do all the grading and monitoring and teaching. At the same time, they would have to cut it a little bit. And these kids are like sponges. The more you give them, the more they're retained. And they'll do a better job because they enjoy it. Okay? They love their teachers. And once again, I can't imagine them losing a teacher and then it having the same success that you can see from a parent's perspective of Allie and my daughter as well. I mean, she reads better than I do, unfortunately. And I wish that I grew up that this program was available, but it wasn't. But now that I'm a parent, I feel blessed. As a first generation, she's a second generation immigrant. How it has connected not only her to myself in terms of speaking the language, but her grandparents in terms of communication, because her grandparents don't speak English that well, being the original immigrants over here after the war. So it's very important, not only as a culture for us to maintain this language that we have, but also to connect the dots about the different generations as Vietnamese American immigrants, to continue our progress, and not just to assimilate, but to retain our cultural background. And it's so vital in terms of being a strong citizen of the United States, as it is a melting pot. We need to maintain that cultural background and also educate everybody in our community about what it means to be Vietnamese American and not just get lost in translation about everything else that we've had to maintain. Myself teaching my daughter all the time about our heritage and whatnot becomes more of a challenge. As you can see, when she gets a little older and this program is not there, how challenging it would be for her to teach her kids the language. So as every generation moves on, we need to continue to support this program. It's vital to our existence as Vietnamese Americans because it's important to us, it's important to people like Grace and her children. And the most important thing is we all have kids that are younger than her that are ready to move into the Marine program once they come of age. And if you talk about the numbers, every year the number will increase to a point where that lottery that we talked about for the Virgin program will be a very lucky thing when someone do get into the program. And that's what we're looking forward to. Thank you.
Welcome. Just a reminder, because we have lots of speakers, when the red light hits, that's your time to end. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for having me. I'll keep it short then. As the parents before me, they already said everything I want to say, so I just want to reiterate a little bit. As a parent, I'm very proud to see my two little kids, my kindergartner and one first grader, speak English right, really fluently. Makes me very proud. But the top priority for me is the quality of the education. So the people before me mentioned already, if you guys cut the staff in half and keep the class size, that's going to reduce the quality of the education. And that's more important than anything else. I can teach a Vietnamese myself, but I'd rather they learn it from the teachers, which have more time to prepare. Can teach them a whole lot better than I could. So I'd rather we keep this program. But again, like I said, if that's the program we have, we lose the quality of the education. Parents like myself will more likely pull their kids out of the program. Parents who have kids growing up thinking about enrolling in this program probably won't sign up because who want to sign up to a program where the quality of the kids' education are compromised. So as a parent, as somebody who runs a school, I know how much the quality of education, how much it means. So really appreciate this program. Very proud that my kids can read and write Vietnamese a hoping you guys will keep it the way it is. Please do not cut the staff, because that doesn't do anybody any good. Thank you.
My name is James Liu. I'm a parent of my son Henry. He's a student in the first grade class at the language program in Vietnamese. And unlike Mike here, I can't really teach my son the language. I learned it growing up, but it quickly fell off as I entered school myself. So I'm somewhat jealous of my son and his ability this opportunity to have this program where he can learn both languages simultaneously and have the opportunity to become fluent in both, literally as well. So not only speak language, but he'll ultimately be able to read and write it. Something that I've noticed with my son is that his connection to his grandparents, so my parents, is phenomenal. They're able to spend time together, and they're able to speak in both languages, and he's able to kind of preserve some of that heritage and that culture through his connection with his grandparents, my parents. They're also fluent in both languages. My mother's trilingual; she speaks another language as well. But just having Henry be surrounded by that has really, in my opinion, helped his achievement scores as first grader. He's one of the youngest in his class. He was born in August, so not that we don't expect a lot of him to be one of the youngest, but he's definitely reading at or above level. Math is at or above level. Writing is at or above level. His social skills are great. He makes friends with everyone that he's in class with. So we're very supportive of the program. We're very grateful for what it's helped to provide for my son, and also for our family. I find myself learning a little bit too along the way. I help him with his homework to the extent that I can. So I just want to urge you all again to consider the possibilities of where this program can go, and we greatly urge you to keep that funding going for second grade and first grade as well next year. On a separate note, I emailed all of you earlier today in regards to kind of how funding is tied to enrollment. And I had some thoughts of my own about potentially improving enrollment and improving funding on the side supplementally. If you get the chance, greatly urge you to take a look at that email. My name is James Liu. Hopefully you find it in your box. Thank you for your time.
And Dennis Quigley.
Hi, my name is Krista Heron. My daughter is in the first grade in the Vietnamese program. She is really thriving in this program. She speaks to me at home in Vietnamese, and of course I have no idea what she's saying. But she loves it, she's thriving, and I'm excited for her to continue learning more. And I hope you support the program and continue to have the 2 classrooms for both grades, because I think that will help all the kids learn better. The teachers ratio is smaller, and just help these kids thrive in this program that's doing great. Thank you.
My name is Louise Quigley, and my daughter is in the first grade. And I wanted to share with you a little bit of our experience. I can tell you that my daughter was not thriving a few months ago. And I actually met someone probably about 4 months ago who teaches at the college level. And he works with a lot of students that come from outside of the U.S. and are learning English. And he told me that it takes people about 18 months to become very proficient and comfortable and communicative in a second language. And very shortly thereafter, I started to see my daughter thriving. She reached that threshold. She's now enjoying school so much more. She's speaking might have guessed that Vietnamese is not the language that we're speaking at home. So I joke with her that as our daughters grow up together, they can speak Vietnamese, and we won't have any idea what we're speaking. And we talked a lot about numbers tonight, and I just wanted to mention that we talked about there being 28 and 29 students in the first grade and kindergarten classes currently. And with the proposed budget cuts, next year there will be those students potentially with more in the first and second grade classroom with one teacher. That is my understanding is actually not up to par with PBS standards, that at this stage level there's a typical ratio of 24 to 1, and that's actually for a standard program, and when there's language learners, usually that ratio should be even lower. So I just want to impress upon the board that this proposal goes against some of the standards that are set for the budget. The other thing I wanted to mention. Maybe that's all I have to say. Thank you so much.
Good evening, Chair Kohler, members of the board, and Superintendent Smith. Thank you for your time tonight, listening to all these testimonies. My name is Sarah Joe, and I am a mother of two. This is my 3-year-old son, and I have an 11-month-old at home. I live in North Portland, and I plan to enroll both of my children in the Vietnamese dual language learning program. I am also a part-time member with Apollo, where my role is to support Vietnamese parents to help their children reach their fullest potential. So as you can see, education is a very important topic for me and my family. But I am here first as a mother. My children are half Vietnamese and half white. Before having children, my husband and I agreed that our children would be fluent in both Vietnamese and English, and they would possess a dual cultural identity. This is important to us, not only because it reflects our multicultural background and household, but also because we are aware that being multilingual confers many benefits, such as greater cognitive control, mental flexibility, and just cultural competence compared to the monolingual counterparts. So you can imagine how thrilled we were when PPS opened its first Vietnamese dual language learning program at Roseway Heights. We also felt so grateful and proud of PPS for upholding its equity and inclusion values. We were also not surprised, considering that Vietnamese is the largest Asian population in Portland. Now, with the recent decision to reduce teachers in the program, we are disheartened. We are concerned about the program's longevity and stunned at how quickly the support from PPS has dwindled. In its 2 years of existence, the Vietnamese DLI program has experienced many challenges. First, it doesn't have a permanent home yet, and its current home, Roseway Heights, will have new leadership next year. Second, there needs to be increased outreach and education to the Vietnamese community about the astounding benefits of the DLI program. PPS needs a dedicated Vietnamese staff person to recruit students and do the community education work. If more Vietnamese families knew of the research showing that DLI dual language immersion programs can close the achievement gap better than traditional ELL programs, they would definitely enroll their children into this program. Third, PPS needs to foster a shared analysis and understanding of the DLI program within its own Vietnamese staff about the benefits of this program. My colleagues at Apollo have encountered some PPS staff who do not support the program, and they openly express it to parents. And lastly, more transportation to and from other school sites with large populations of Vietnamese students is needed. These are policies the district has already adopted under SACID and yet have yet to fulfill them. And I'm referring to page 26 and 27 of our budget binders. So with the proposed cut, next year's first and second grade classes will have close to 30 students in each classroom. And that's a lot of students for one teacher to handle, especially when half of the children are classified as ELL. In closing, because I see the red light is on, The program is still new, and the decision to reduce teachers is disheartening because this young program needs consistent support to be successful. We know that reducing teachers is deterring many potential families from enrolling their children. So, thank you for your time. That's all. I'm going to leave it here. Finally, also on behalf of we want to thank Julia Esparza-Brown, who I don't see is here today, for being a huge voice on the board for communities of color. Thank you.
Callie Ladd and Karanja Cruz. Becky Steckler, Natalie Ball.
Good evening, members of the Portland Public School Board and Superintendent Smith. Thank you for this opportunity to talk to you tonight about the PTS budget. My name is Becky Steckler, and I am a parent of a third grader in a kindergarten